and I could adjust well enough, but I always felt wrong and that there was something wrong with me and I should be able to do better. But then I also got somehow addicted to antipsychotics, so I stopped those as well. So yeah, that's how I do it. I mean, don't waste your time on people that are not worth it, because I think that will just make you feel really bad about yourself when in the end they were not worth it. We went bowling with 20 people with Tourette's, which was the worst idea ever. It was great. Today is the time for the 1,000 subscriber extravaganza Q&A event video thing. Woo! Confetti. But first, if you are new here and you have no idea who I am, my name is Luca and I make videos about what it's like to live with Tourette's. And as you could have told from this great intro, we just hit 1,000 subscribers, but don't worry, that doesn't mean that you can't still join our little club, our little family. So if you're interested in learning more about Tourette's, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. I upload at least weekly. Hey, and I'm so happy to have you here. Whether you are new or whether you've been here all along, I love you all so much. I'm so happy you're here. So a couple of days ago, I made a small video to thank everyone that subscribed for allowing us to hit 1,000 subscribers and asked them if they had any questions that they wanted me to answer. And I got loads of responses. And I'm going to go through quite a few of them. Not all of them, because I can't, because there were too many, and some of them were actually such great questions that I wrote them down as actual video ideas. Oh, and some of them actually I will answer kind of in this video, but I think I might make a whole video about in and of themselves. But if you see any of the questions coming by and think, oh, please make a more elaborate video about that, please tell me, put them in the comments below. If you have any other questions and you want me to do another Q&A, put them in the comments as well. I'd love to do it. I think this will be fun. I did what any professional YouTuber does with these questions, is that I made a PowerPoint. And I'm going to put that in my OBS and answer them like this. Don't judge me. Hey. Okay, so let's do it. Question 1. How are you? I'm alright. I'm fine. No, I'm doing better. My mental health has not been the best the last couple of weeks. But I'm definitely doing better. The weather is getting better as well. And I like that. I'm a summer person, even though I'm a goth at heart. I still like it when the weather is getting a bit better and our lockdown restrictions are not as bad anymore. So I'm doing better. How are you? Uh-oh. Next question. Next. I assume you are bilingual. Do you also tic in multiple, I don't know how to spell the English word, but you are Dutch, right? Talen. I'll just translate that. I assume you are bilingual. I am. Do you also tic in multiple languages? I do. Uh-oh. So, my first language is Dutch. My second language is English. Uh-oh. I speak some German and French and other languages as well, but mostly Dutch and English. And yeah, I do tic in both Dutch and English. It kind of depends on what language I'm thinking in at that moment. And so usually in my videos, you'll hear me tick in English because that's the language I'm speaking at that moment, and that's kind of how it works. And I do tend to edit out my Dutch tics because I don't know, I'm kind of subconscious about my Dutch accent. And whenever I have like a Dutch word in the middle of my videos, it makes me, I don't know, it makes me feel like I sound more Dutch. And I think that's a very Dutch thing, that we hate our own accents. But yeah, I tick in both languages. So yeah, that's the thing, absolutely. In the interview I did with Lotte, the Belgian girl who speaks many languages, and she ticks in, I think, like 5 languages. I think it's really interesting. But yeah, that happens. Absolutely. Next one. Do you consider yourself I can't speak. This was a bad idea. It's Friday night. Do you consider yourself neuroatypical? And if yes, how did that process go? Did you think you were neuroatypical when you were a child? Absolutely, I do. I did not know what being neuroatypical meant for a very long time. I was born in 1990, and I think the idea of being neurodiverse is something from the late 90s. So it wasn't really a thing when I was young. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me, just the idea of your brain just being a bit different and looking at the world in a different way, and it not necessarily being worse. Like, there are pros and cons to it. And I'm not going to say that having, for example, ADHD or autism, which are of course the biggest neurodiverse like conditions that are out there, are not like debilitating and not, I don't want to say like, oh, we're just neurodiverse and there's no, we don't suffer from it, and there aren't people that need serious help because of it. But at the same time, I think it was really empowering, just the idea of neurodiversity and recognizing that there wasn't necessarily anything wrong with me. There's a lot wrong with me, but the fact that my brain is wired this way and that there's nothing wrong with that was really empowering to me. So yeah, absolutely. But as a child, I had no idea that was what was going on. I was quite, I don't know, what's the English word? Dutch viewers, correct me, hoogbegaafd. I think it's highly intelligent, but that sounds really stupid. It sounds like you're flexing, but it's not necessarily. Like, you're really smart, but you have problems because of it. I had that, but when I was young, it was more like, oh, you're smart, so you're supposed to just know everything. But just because I could read and write when I was 3 doesn't mean that I functioned at all. And that whole thing, it was so like warped, because I could study well and I was smart enough and I could adjust well enough, but I always felt wrong, and that there was something wrong with me and I should be able to do better. And I think that the idea of being neurodiverse, neuroatypical can be really empowering, because it is so much falls into place. Like, there's more to life and how you are than just your IQ and how well you're able to like function in the world. I don't know. Yeah, I can do a whole video about this. I should have probably prepared my answer better, but hey, sip. Are you gay? No. Are you straight? No. That's it. Relationship-wise, how is dating if you date, and how have other people reacted to your tics? I currently am not really dating because, lockdown, and I don't know, it's not, I like my dates to be a bit more fun, like being able to go out, go to an event or something like that. So I'm not really dating at the moment. was like a serial dater. I mean, I was always in relationships, like since I was like 12 till, I don't know, like 27. I was always in like long-term relationships. But I wasn't really attracted to the right people, which is my issue. I mean, one bad partner, 2 of them, it's fine. I mean, you can blame it on them, but after like 5, you have to look at yourself as well, I think. I mean, that's a healthier thing to do. So at the moment, I'm not really dating. I might at some point. I kind of like it. But I think like my Tourette's has not really influenced it that much. I think being trans, like bisexual and trans, has been more of a thing. And in general, I'm attracted to people that are quite open-minded, and if someone was not open to the idea of dating someone with Tourette's, I'd probably not be interested in them anyways. I could never date someone that wasn't like potentially my best friend, and I could not be best friends with someone that did not accept me as I am. Like if I date, it's either someone that already knows me, so they know that I have tics, or if it's like online, like through a dating app or something, I put it in my profile. Like I have a nicely worded, fun profile, but I put it in like the first couple of sentences, like something about Tourette, something about being trans. And then I'll comment something about, like make a joke about something that they say in their profile, like one of the last sentences, and that will make them feel like, oh, I should read their profile as well. And then they'll read it, and they either don't respond anymore, and then, you're done, it's fine. Or they've read it, and it's okay, then I don't have to, spend any more time on someone that was never going to be interesting or interested in me. So yeah, that's how I do it. I mean, don't waste your time on people that are not worth it, because I think that will just make you feel really bad about yourself, when in the end, they were not worth it. Nah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it really influences. Of course, like not being trans and not being neurodiverse gives you a bigger pool of people to choose from, and that might have made me like more normal and maybe be interested in more normal people. But I think that sounds so boring. I don't know. I don't know. Nah. Will you ever do a live stream? Maybe. I don't know. Would you be interested in it? I think we'll have a community tab very soon, so I might create a poll. But according to my analytics, most people that view me are from the US or from that region, and there's a bit of a time difference, so it would have to be like late at night for me, and I'm really scared. I don't know, I've never done that. I've been on the internet making videos for a long time, but I've never done something like a live stream. But yeah, I don't know, if someone is interested, maybe we could do something fun, maybe just play a game, or I don't know, do makeup or do something fun. But let me know, would you be interested? Where are you from? So I don't know, we'll figure it out. Maybe. Can tics be influenced, like how much you tic, by the weather, such as winter or summer, just general coldness and warmth? Yes, absolutely. But I think like in general, just any sensation, anything can really influence your tics. And for me, because I have quite severe asthma and other like health issues, my health will influence my tics as well. So when I'm quite sick, my tics will get more painful but slower, like weirdly. And when I'm really warm, like sometimes my brain is it feels like your brain is just swelling up, and it's not really, of course, but it feels like it's so warm that your brain is swelling up and you can't tic, but you kind of feel the urge to. At least that's what it's like for me. But absolutely, yeah, it can. How did your family handle your tics and your late diagnosis? Not well. What do you use to edit your videos? I use Adobe. I use drugs. No, I use Adobe Premiere. If you're at all interested in seeing what I use to make my videos, it's quite simple, but if you're interested in knowing more about it, let me know. I'm trying to build like a new kind of studio thing, switch up this background. So yeah, if you want to know how I do it, let me know. How was it in school with your tics and ADHD? Were you already diagnosed with ADHD? Were you on medication for it or now? I'm asking because I'm gonna soon go on medication, and I'm kind of scared though excited. First of all, oh my god, that's very big, that's huge. I can imagine, like the first time I went on medication, it was antidepressants, not necessarily like for ADHD, but just taking meds like that, it felt really scary. But yeah, no, that's really interesting. I hope it works and it will be a smooth ride for you. But yeah, so in school, I was diagnosed with a lot of things because I was like, I don't know, like very mentally ill. And they had no idea what was wrong with me. So I got a lot of medication, and I did get diagnosed with ADHD, but also autism, even though that was retracted later. And I was on some ADHD medication, but it was like experimental stuff. It made me really sick. But I mean, it wasn't a constant thing. It wasn't done well. I didn't even have like a psychologist. I only had a psychiatrist that I saw like once every 8 weeks, and he would just push new medication on me, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good. But I am on medication for my ADHD now, and I really need it. It made such a difference. It's like the difference between being able to read and not being able to read. Like everything, like just the brain fog, if I'm not on medication, is so bad. And it always was, but I always felt like it was my fault, and that took so much energy, and now I don't know how I did it. But yeah, I'm on ADHD medication. I'm not on medication for my Tourette's at the moment because I'm on loads of other medications as well. Oh, uh-oh. And I kind of don't want to add to that because I'm already, like, my physical health is also not the best. And I suffer from side effects quite badly as well in general. So I don't really want to add to that at the moment because my tics don't bother me that much at the moment that I want to take meds for it. I was on antipsychotics for a while, actually just to be able to sleep because I didn't sleep. I have loads of sleep issues. I mean, at the moment it's fine with my current medication, but before I'd be awake for easily 5 days in a row, and I start to hallucinate and everything, and it was really bad. And they just gave me antipsychotics to help me sleep because I used to get addicted to sleep medication because, you know, they are very addictive, and having a neurodiverse brain and ADHD Tourette's brain makes you very prone to addiction, and I didn't want that anymore. So they gave me antipsychotics, and that really helped, and that also suppressed my tics. But back then I did not know I had Tourette's, but it stopped my tics. But then I also got somehow addicted to antipsychotics, so I stopped those as well. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I mean, my brain is, I don't know. We're all different people. We all have different experiences, and I got those meds before I knew what was wrong with me. Even though I was already kind of diagnosed when I was like 16. I wasn't officially diagnosed with ADHD before I was like 24, 25, I think 24. And then Tourette's when I was 27. So I did not even know what was wrong with me. I just got some medication and it suddenly made me feel better. So I took more of it because I already felt like there was something really wrong with me. And I think that when you take a medication for something that you know what it's supposed to help with, it'll be better. Like my ADHD medication, I know that there are people that are sensitive to overusing those and getting addicted to them. But because I view them as medication, I don't have that problem. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know, medication, it's an interesting thing, but if you know what you're taking it for and you have the right assistance with it, it can be a lifesaver, absolutely. So I hope it goes well for you, I really do. Did you continue with the ADHD challenges you started? I included this one because I have no idea what this is about. And I think that's the most ADHD thing I've ever said. So, can you please explain which ADHD challenges did I do? Please let me know. How do you do your makeup when you have tics? Poorly. I'll probably put in some pictures of my makeup. When you know, you know. I don't do straight lines. I just smudge. And after, I don't know, like 18 years of doing makeup, it kind of looks all right. But it's random. All right. Sit. Cocktoo. Do your tics evolve over time? For example, it starts with something small and it expands. Do your tics evolve over time? For example, it starts with something small and it expands over time, or the opposite when you have a huge tic that's quieted down over time? Yes, absolutely. That one was not really a tic for, I think, until like a few months ago. I'm not sure, I don't even know where it started from. It was like a very small sound at first and it kind of grew. Uh-oh. And other tics, like the ones that I use, that I do with my hands that are more like this, used to be really big and I used to suppress them and then they became really small. The ones with my hands as well, they were the big hand movements and I suppressed them by doing it with my hands but in my pockets, and now I can't stop. And now my hands hurt, so it doesn't always work. But yeah, absolutely. Like it can go either way, and sometimes they just evolve, like one word will become another word, and yeah, absolutely. I can definitely do a bigger video about this, but short answer, yes. Yes, absolutely. What are your favorites of the moment or ever? Books, movies, music, artists, activities, events, etc. Hey. I have loads of favorites. I have ADHD. I have so many hobbies. It's ridiculous. But books. I used to be a really avid reader because I grew up in a house that did not have TV or the internet. That's not normal for the Netherlands, don't worry, it's just where we live. So I read a lot. And I used to read horror books a lot, but now with my ADHD and my eyesight is not that good anymore, so I can't really, just reading books, it doesn't really help anymore. So I do a lot of audio books, but they are also my sleeping medication now. Audiobooks will put me to sleep for real. But I sometimes still read, especially in summer. I'll go to the park and read a book. I recently bought, the whole collection of the Philip Pullman, his Dark Materials collection. Oh, it's good. If you've never read these books, you'll love them, honestly. They're really good. Movies. I love horror movies. My favorite is The Shining, but I like weird movies like Begotten or weird indie movies or, yeah, weird horror or weird horror movies. I'm a huge film fan. I study arts and cultural media and arts and cultural sciences, and I music was my major, and I also did film as a second major. And I just love film. I absolutely love film. So I could talk about that for years. Music as well. My basis of my basic genre of music that I listen to is metal and the Dutch hardcore, really loud music because it kind of quiets my brain down. But I think my favorite band would be I hate saying that. I think that the Velvet Underground, Venus in Furs is one of my favorite songs. Born Slippy Nux by Underworld and Le Busque, Hardcoreistas are really great songs. And at the moment, I'm really listening to Spirit Box, the metal band. Oh my god, the aesthetics of that band, I love everything about them. And like classical music, Arvo Pärt, loads of stuff. I love loads of music. Artists, I mean, kind of covered it in that. Activities, I like some gaming, programming, hacking, stuff like that. I'm currently trying to speedrun Silent Hill. I love Silent Hill. It's my favorite game ever. I like doing makeup, like drag stuff, programming. Like I said, like I'm doing app development now. Events, I like festivals. Mira Luna in Germany, like the golf festival. I think I like it more in theory now, just because I haven't been for so long. But yeah, festivals. I had to pause for a second because the car was driving by with very loud music and I don't want to get a copyright claim. But favorite activities. I have so many hobbies. I can keep talking for hours about this. I'm really into like scents, like perfumes at the moment. Yeah, Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab that have so many scents. If you're ever interested in what's like in my cupboard, that's not books, that's all perfumes. And my current favorite is the Homo Strega Tombe one. It smells. Oh, how do people do that? My lights. I'll put on a picture. It smells so good. And other stuff, ballet. I'm really into ballet at the moment. I don't know. Opera. I studied to be an opera singer for a couple of years. But I stopped, of course, and I started testosterone and I can't really sing anymore. But classical singing is still a really big hobby of mine. There's so much. I can keep talking about anything for hours, really. I don't know. Languages, cultures, subcultures. There's too much. Let's go on. When did you start making YouTube videos? I started this channel in July or August of 2020. But I think my first channel was, how long has YouTube been around? 2006? I started on Google Video, so I think that says a lot. I was on the old Vampire Freaks message board. For the old people around here, they'll know, like the old goth message board. So my first YouTube videos were around that time, like very cringy, bad webcam, goth makeup tutorials. There is still a channel still up that has some of my old videos, but I'm not going to link it just yet. It's interesting, but it's still up there. I think 2008 or something. But yeah, it's been a while, but I stopped for a long time, but I really like it. I like editing videos, I like making videos, I like YouTube. YouTube is like, I don't know, like the main social medium that I interact with, that, I don't know, I just really like it. With all its flaws, it makes me really happy, and it has given me so much that I just really like it. And like during this lockdown, I felt that I needed something to do, and I thought if not now, then when? Because now I have the time, and I'm really glad that I did, because I'm having so much fun with it. So yeah. I know you are part of a Tourette's group in the Netherlands. What sort of things do you do with them? Well, at the moment it's not a lot, of course, but in general we have like a Tourette's like kind of cafe thing meetup every couple of months. So we'll go to some bar or place like somewhere in the center of the Netherlands. We'll just have drinks and talk with each other. Sometimes we have like movie days. It's not nights, it's like afternoons. We'll have a whole cinema to ourselves, watch a movie. There are events like bowling. We went bowling with 20 people with Tourette's, which was the worst idea ever. It was great. There's the Tourette's camp. That's international thing. And I went, what was it, 2019? I was with people from the Netherlands, the UK, Norway, and Finland. I think that's it. And last year it was supposed to be in Norway and with Germany included as well. But of course, because of the virus, we couldn't do it. And we hope to go next year. It is officially like until the age of 30, and I'll be 31 in a couple of months. But yeah, I hope I can still join and maybe help as a volunteer or something, because that exchange, that whole group, it was like life-changing for me, just to be around so many cool people for that long and just feel so at home. It was, yeah, I definitely recommend it. If there's anything you can apply for to go on on an exchange or anything, please do. It is so much fun, really. Sip. How do you meet other people with tics outside of groups or associations? I'm asking that because I feel like you have many friends with tics, but in my country there isn't any national group, or at least not for people with just tics. I think that even though, like first contact with people with tics, like through a meetup, like a Tourette's association, can be like very helpful. There are so many ways of meeting people with tics. If there isn't anything in your local area, you could look into, like if you're on Reddit, one of the Reddit groups, or on Facebook. There are many Facebook. I know Facebook is a bit old-fashioned, but there are still so many like Tourette's Facebook groups with different like local chapters. And if it doesn't exist yet, you could start one. And then maybe after, like when it's safe again, after the whole lockdown is a bit, like everyone's vaccinated and everything, you can do a meetup and that'd be fun. So if it doesn't exist yet, you could start one. Because there'll be loads of people around you that because if there's nothing there yet, then there must be other people in your local area that are also looking for other people to connect with. So you could start a group, maybe. Are your eyes really that blue, or is it a filter or contacts or something? Yeah, they're really that blue. It depends. This is the most like white boy thing you can say, but it depends on the light. And I have these two like soft boxes on my face right now. So yeah, they're really that blue. That's it. Do you struggle with imposter syndrome in general or for specific things? Absolutely. About loads of very specific things, but everything. Like about my Tourette's, absolutely. About my ADHD, I still think I'm faking my ADHD and just use my medication because I'm an addict. I sometimes wake up and think I'm not really trans. I think I'm not good at my job, and people will find out very soon. Lately, it's been about my mental health, that I think that maybe there's nothing really wrong with me and I just suck at life. And like rationally, I know now that it's like imposter syndrome and it's not real, but I still struggle with it every single day. Absolutely. Oh yeah. Oh my God, everything. I will make a video about this. It's in the making. I just want to have like a good, like, I don't know, it needs to have a point and not just me complaining about my own imposter syndrome for 20 minutes. So it's in the making, but it's not that easy for me to write about because I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. And that's the whole point. So yeah, Yeah. Do you think that being presented as female during your teen years contributed to your late diagnosis of Tourette's and possibly ADHD? Maybe. It could be. I think in general my problem was that I was just very mentally ill, and I did not just present as female, but as very like goth. And of course, being goth does not make you mentally ill, but you have to imagine the picture, like black, long hair, loads of makeup, loads of scars on the arm, always in a crisis. No one knew what was wrong. I could not express myself. I had no idea what was wrong with me. I was not in the environment that I could speak about stuff. So I don't know if that was the only thing. I think I was just so mentally ill that it was difficult for psychiatrists to diagnose me in general, but the fact that they diagnosed me with Asperger's before they saw that I had ADHD already said something, because I don't have Asperger's, I don't, of course, well, autism spectrum disorder, whatever you wish to call it. When I was that age, it was still called Asperger's, so that's what they diagnosed me with. Uh-oh. But I clearly did not have that, but they were convinced that I had that. And yeah, I don't know. I think it had a part to play, but I just think that I was such a mess and I did not have the structure and support that I needed to get properly treated and diagnosed in general. So I think it was a part of it, because it's definitely a problem, but there were loads of problems in my life that did not allow me to get the treatment that I needed back then. So yeah. Sit. How is Tourette's viewed in your country? It depends on the person, of course. I think we have it, in the grand scheme of things, quite well. There is like general interest in Tourette's. Medically, it's all right if you go to the doctors. I think you can get treated quite quickly. The Dutch Tourette's Association is very active. And yeah, I mean, we don't pay extra for Tourette's treatment, so that's all right. But the typical stereotypes are still there, that Tourette's is all about swearing and all of that. It's all right. I do think I'm lucky to have Tourette's and to be trans in a country like the Netherlands that is generally quite open-minded and like mind your own business type of thing. It's not perfect. It could be better, but it's all right. I often see people with Tourette's suffering with other conditions such as ADHD. Is that at all connected, and why? I will make a whole video about this because I have to like research it and do everything. But yes, it's connected. Most people with Tourette's will also have another condition like ADHD or OCD. It's this triad, they call it. It's all to do with dopamine, and our brains don't really process dopamine well enough, and that's why we have ADHD, OCD, and Tourette's. So it's connected, and apparently it's connected to migraines as well, and I thought that was really interesting. So I want to do a video about that. It's called a comorbid disorder, and I will talk about it. But yeah, it's connected, absolutely. Are you related to Rutger Hauer? No, I don't think so. It's just those Dutch genes. And now my accent, oh my god, I feel tic attack coming up, and that kind of messes with my accent. So last question, I'm going to stop. Want to tell us a little something about your tattoos? Yes, I have 4 tattoos. The one you've probably seen the most is this one, the boy who lived tattoo. That's a tattoo I got the day that I heard that I could start testosterone, and as I told you, when I grew up, I didn't have like TV or anything. I lived in a very rural place and I was very mentally ill and I could read. And that's all I did. And I read Harry Potter. I knew those books by heart, like literally by heart. I still know the first Sorting Hat song by heart. And those were the first books I read in English. I think I was like 6 or 7 when those books came out, like 1997. Correct me if I'm wrong. And yeah, those books honestly saved my life. And I know that there are many people that are quite offended by that idea, but that's how it is. And The Boy Who Lived was the... Oh no. The Boy Who Lived was the first chapter of the first Harry Potter book. And it was like, you know, the new chapter, the first chapter of your new life. And it meant a lot to me. And it's over my self-harm scars. So it meant a lot to me. And then, of course, J.K. Rowling did her thing. And I know that there are many people that say that, you know, if that book, that story still means so much to you, then it shouldn't matter what the writer did. And I did arts philosophy, the death of the author, sure, but I still hate the tattoo and I want to do something with it or get it covered up. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll get over it, but yeah. And I have 3 other tattoos, one on my leg. I will probably post a picture of it. It's just like dots, like dot work. I got it last year. And I have 2 tattoos on my feet. I might show a picture of them. I got them on Ibiza when I was really drunk. One of them is like a symbol of like a little hacker group that I was a part of, and the other one is the eye thing, symbol, just to mess with other people. They're not very good. I'm not going to show my feet because I don't know. I'm not going to show my feet for free. Come on, I don't know. Hey. Okay, I can't do this much longer. So that was it. Those were all the questions I'm going to answer today. Yeah, thank you so much. I hope this wasn't all interesting. Me talking about myself for, I don't know, an hour. Yeah, bye.